Howdy, my name's Anna. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for being here. Today I wanted to compare two palettes from two of my favorite eyeshadow makers, and that is the Moonlit Seduction palette from Pat McGrath and the Retro palette from Natasha Denona. Again, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you engaging with these videos. I really enjoy talking about makeup, and I do love the bits of feedback that I do get about your experiences and joys. And anyways, let's get started in comparing these palettes. So I think it was the Midnight Sun palette that I was looking at. This is the packaging. And the palette looks like this. It's really a beautiful palette. And I don't know, the other day I was just kind of admiring it, like literally just admiring it, looking at it. I might have been swatching it and thinking, wow, that is so beautiful. What does that remind me of? Because I don't know, for some reason, just that association thing is strong within me. And I was like, oh, you know, that kind of looks like the Natasha Denona Retro palette. And that's this one. And the inside looks like this. Some warmer and sort of plum and mauve tones, which they're not, you know, in looking at them right next to each other, they're certainly not direct dupes, and there's like more gold in this one, whereas I think there's more sort of brown in this one, although there's this top shade in that corner. Ooh, we're dropping glitter. Anyways, I thought we would just play around and see, how similar they actually are, if there are any shades that are similar, and then what I like to do is one eye with one palette and one eye with the other palette. So let's swatch them first. I think the first thing to do would be to swatch this palette. I'm gonna go ahead and do that and just either speed it up or cut to it. All right. Okay, so here is the Natasha Denona Retro palette all swatched out. Okay, so, and I've already done this just to kind of prep myself, but let's see. So I guess I'll just start at this shade, and we'll see what we can come up with. So this is going to be the deepest shade in the palette, and I think the most similar is probably going to be this, and I'm guessing it will not be quite the same. Oh yeah, that's very dark. It's a similar color in a way, but it's definitely like a deeper version, and actually I think this has a little bit more yellow in it. Yeah, so that's like not very close at all. And then next up is one of the sort of more gold shades in this palette, and this is also like a shimmery shade, and my guess is it's going to be closest to this right here. And maybe looks a little tiny bit like this. It's definitely more gold in both cases, but I think it's actually closer in color to that. We might be able to use those two as sort of a similar thing in a look. All right, next up, go into this sort of maroon type shade, and that is perhaps going to be the most similar to this, which is like a shimmery, oh no, it's going to be closer to this guy, which is actually sort of better because it's a matte. Yeah, so far that's gonna be the closest. I suppose this guy on the end. Let's try it. So it's a little bit more pinky. Surprise, surprise, Pat McGrath is more pink than anything else. I feel like she gets a lot of flack for that. Maybe pink is just flattering and she knows that. I don't know. I don't make makeup, so I don't feel like I can really judge that, but all right. So now I'm getting into this one of the Pat McGrath special shades. And this one is sort of a duochrome gold to pink. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch that on camera. It was this shade right here. And is it giving me what I want? Yeah, kind of pink, gold. You can kind of see that. Okay. Anyways, I don't know. Like, this is actually kind of a pink to gold, but I think it's going to be very different. Yeah, it's much warmer and much more of a shine. I feel like the Natasha Denona shimmers are more subtle. But yeah, I guess I kind of want to compare it to this one. Wait, this one as well. I guess we'll put it on this side. I need bigger arms. Wow, yeah, there's just so much more shine to it, but it actually does sort of match that shade just a little bit better, I would say. Yeah, it's just more intense. Interesting. All right, next up, we have another sparkly shade. And I mean, this is gonna be the closest to this right here. It's much more white. And definitely more sparkly again. Sort of Pat McGrath's thing. Next up is another sort of pink to gold, but more gold duochrome. Some like almost coral in that. Oh, they're just so soft. Woo! And so sparkly. What's that gonna look like? Man, I almost feel like it's the most similar to this again. I don't think there's really a dupe for this one. I'm just gonna put it right here nearby this other gold. I guess I could sort of compare it to this guy, but I don't think there's really a dupe for that. Do you see how much more shine the Pat McGrath palette has? I mean, especially this shade, dang. I just feel like there's so much more sort of glitter to it. Okay. There's definitely no dupe for this. We'll swatch it though. This is like blue to wine, a little bit of sort of a green to that. Woo! There's like no comparison. I'm just gonna swatch that right there. Again, look at that reflection. Well, that's a messy shade. Okay. That's what we're working with. And I mean, yeah, look at that like green in there. I guess it's like somewhat close to this one. I don't have any more room really. You could try. Let's just put it right Yeah, no. That blue just makes it stand out so much. Okay. Wow, that is a pretty shade. This is such a pretty palette, which is what started this whole journey that we're going on today. Cool, cool. All right, and then this sort of, this almost seems like almost seems almost like a gold gunmetal type of, or like an antique sort of color. It's very gray, and I don't see anything close. I don't even know. Like, what is this even gonna look like? It's probably closest to this one, and it's not close. Yeah. The Natasha Denona is definitely warmer. All right. I meant to like swatch this one and just show you a comparison of the two palettes, but it's too late for that. We've already chosen our trajectory, and we're gonna continue on along because I'm gonna run out of light if I don't speed this up. All right. Oh, okay. And this one, I'm guessing, is gonna be the closest to this guy on my elbow. My arms. I need bigger arms or more arms. I think that's definitely the closest to that shade. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose you could make an argument for this shade right here. No, that's not what I was thinking. This one? Whoops. Fail. No, it's definitely closest to this guy here. Okay. One more shade, and that is this sort of highlighty shade. And you know, it's gonna be closest to this. Again, it's a shimmer, and it's a very similar color, but it's a different texture. So I feel like you can definitely see that the vibe is very similar with the Pat McGrath being just a bit more like reflective, more shiny, than the Natasha Denona. I think the Natasha Denona is a bit more subtle. So I'm going to conclude just from the swatches that like they're kind of cousins, you know. Certainly not twins. They're not siblings. Okay. Cool. Well, let's try to do a look, shall we? And my thoughts are we're going to use these two shades and maybe these shades and probably this here, perhaps this. Maybe we'll try this and just show the difference between like the reflection. All right, so let's begin. I have eye primer. This is gonna make a mess. I have eye primer on, my usual Lately ABH eye primer with my Pat McGrath Labs under eye powder on top of that to set it. All my fringe is getting so long. Okay, now you can see my eyes. Okay, I'm gonna go into Groove from the Natasha Denona palette. And that's this shade right here, this deeper kind of maroon brick red, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And we'll put Natasha Denona on this eye and Pat McGrath on this eye. And I'm just gonna focus that in the outer corner for now. Place that color right there. And then I want to take a cleaner brush and actually kind of blend that out a bit. And especially in. Ooh, that kind of blended away a bit. I don't know, let's go in with more shadow. And maybe just go a little lighter handed here. All right. And now with a different brush, because we're gonna try to make this as equal as possible. So now I'm going to go into this shade in my Pat McGrath palette. And then try to blend that out on this side a bit, especially in. Interesting. It actually doesn't look as deep. Well, I guess in the swatch, the Natasha Denona does look a little bit more purple. Okay, interesting. All right, now, what do we have next? I think our next closest vibe here is going to be this shade from the Natasha Denona, and that is Amara. And what I'm going to do is take that and try to do a very light wash all through my crease. Light wash. Oh my goodness. That doesn't look that much. Yeah, okay, it does. It looks not as deep as the last one. All right. And now on the other side, often I just feel like I'm setting myself up for failure, but you know, that's kind of what experimenting is all about. Anyways, we're gonna go into this shade right here on the other side. And oh, that's pigmented. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool. I need to go into the Natasha Denona side again. And I'm just gonna go up a little bit, go in a little bit deeper with that, because clearly it's a little bit darker color. I mean, lighter color than this one. All right, well, so far we're looking pretty even. Now for my lid color. And probably my inner corner. Yeah, I think I have to go for this right here. And they are not the same, and we're going to experience that firsthand. But let's try it. So going into this shade, I don't know what it's called. Gift. And I am placing that all over the lid. Very pretty. And now we're gonna go into, what's this shade? From, is that correct? Is that correct? Yes, that is correct on this side. It's definitely not as pink. There's more like gold to that. And it's definitely more sparkly and vibrant and less intense. And you can see on my fingers like the difference. This side is much pinker. This side's more gold. I guess taking a pencil brush, I'm gonna go into that lighter of the two sort of deeper shades and take on my lower lash line, especially just on this outside a bit. And then on the other side, I almost totally just did that, but I didn't. I caught myself. Oops. All right, and then this. It'll make differences more obvious putting on that, putting it on the bottom there. Okay. And then, you know, we're gonna just have to use these, which are not the same. But yeah, in the inner corner. So actually I'm gonna bring that on my lower lash line because I just want to. And actually, let's just kind of get that all over there. And then, you know, why not just kind of put some of that up here? Why not? Wow, that powder really stuck under my eye there. Funny. Okay, now for the other side with my Pat McGrath palette, going into this shade. I might mix it in a little bit with this because it'll give it slightly more pigment. So it's not quite so white. Although the other one is just pink. You know what? I'm just going into the white. And it's just going to be a little different. And that's going to be great. Go up into there like we did with the other one. Not going to lie, this is a little bit better brush for this. But, you know, we do what we can. Okay. I'm going to finish up my makeup and I will be back. I first wanted to do a thing. I wanted to try a thing. I kind of noticed that these browns, I did not use these browns, and I think they might, I don't know how I missed this with the swatches, and they're probably just very different, but I'm gonna use this, deepen up this outer corner with that. Because I like a little bit darker outer corner. I even did my eyebrows a little darker than usual. Which actually matches my hair much better than I anticipated. My hair's a little wet though, so it's a little dark. This shade from the Pat McGrath palette. Gonna deepen up this outer corner. Woo, that's pigmented. I feel like the Pat McGrath seems a little more pigmented in general on these two palettes. Okay, using a bit of a fluffy brush, taking these, this Amaro and sort of blending that deeper shade out. And then on the other side, taking this shade on the other side, sort of blending that out. Ooh, yeah, that's way more pigmented. Whoopsie. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Okay, we're gonna go back into the Natasha Denona side and try to deepen that up a bit to sort of match them. Boy, I made a mess over here, didn't I? My goodness, okay. Woo! Ooh! Oh what have I done? It's fine. Totally fine. Just gonna take cleaner brush and sort of try to clean that up a little bit. My goodness. Okay, there. Okay, put it down, put the makeup down. I'm gonna finish up my eyes and I'll be back. Okay, my makeup is basically done, but I wanna show you something just because this came up. I was wanting to try some things that I haven't tried just because I have so much makeup and I find that it doesn't get used because I have so much. And anyways, I was like, oh, I bet that this like berry brown colored push-up lashes by Charlotte Tilbury would look great with this look. I can't even see it. The bottom is a different mascara. It's actually the Roller Lash from Benefit. Because I have the wand for my lower lashes, although this one probably would have worked. But, like, I can't really, I mean, I guess it's okay, but I don't know. It's just, it's not giving me the va-va-voom that I feel like I need for this look. So, going with my gold standard here, my Monsieur Big from Lancome, and I'm just going to show you, like, the difference. I mean, right? I just think it's such a good mascara. Okay, I'm gonna finish up the other eye and I will be right back. Okay, well this is the final look. I really like it. And B, I do think that I could go out in the world like this and nobody would know I had two different palettes on. That said, there are a lot of differences between these palettes. They are not direct dupes for each other, and I think that both of them have benefits and drawbacks. I mean, here's the thing. I do think that the sort of sparkly formula from Pat McGrath is a very unique and specific thing, and if that's what you want, that's what you want. I also think that Natasha Denona is sort of designed for a more everyday consumer, generally speaking. As far as, I don't think that people going for Natasha Denona are necessarily being like, I want super glittery glam makeup. Not that you can't do glam with her formulas and things, but I think even just with the way the light is hitting my eyes from this far away, you can sort of see this is the Pat McGrath eye, and it's just a little bit more like, bam. Not by much, but just enough. So that if you really want to go super intense, I think it's just a little bit more. Whereas I think that this is going to be a little bit more subtle. It's such a subtle difference too, though. I mean, I don't think that, like I said, I don't think if I went out in public, anybody would notice. I mean, maybe if I went to like a makeup counter, they'd be like, wait, do you have two different, but you know, they'd really have to be looking for it, I think. The other thing with the palettes, I think, you know, it's interesting. I feel like 15 shades is not quite necessary when they're this close. I think this could have been like a 9-pan palette easily and still gotten the same effect. Whereas this one, there aren't quite as many like duplicates, you know, this is a 10-pan. And I think there's not quite the like duplicates in this. All of that said, this palette retails for $128 and this one retails for $68. So I think for me, don't want to say you get what you pay for, because I think that this would actually be a better palette for maybe most people. I don't know. I've been told I'm a little extra with my love for glitter and whatnot. Oh, also, this side definitely had more glitter fallout on my face, which not a problem for me. I actually am fine with that. But let me see if I get closer. If you can tell, I didn't bother cleaning it off. So my monitor's blurry enough that I can't actually see. And I have powdered over it, but this side definitely more fallout, the Pat McGrath side. I think as far as like ease of use, the Natasha Denona might have been a little easier to work with because it's not quite as bam pow pigment right upon the application. You can kind of build it up more, whereas the Pat McGrath, that was pretty pigmented, and I don't, you know, I had some moments of panic. So yeah, also I guess this is how I'm doing my hair today. Yeah, well, that was fun, and I like the final look. Yeah. Do you like these palettes? Do you have these palettes? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And I really appreciate, like I said, you being here. Thank you for all of your sweet comments. I think I got to 400 subscribers, which is really exciting for me. I mean, it's like, you know, those like big numbers. I've been doing this for about a year and a half, I think now. And yeah, I will continue to create more videos for y'all. And I hope you're having a great, well, I was going to say afternoon because it's afternoon here, but it could be morning for you, or like 2 in the morning, whatever. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day, and I hope, if not, that something happens that makes it better. Anyways, again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.